We are about a month into the MLB season, so it is now time to determine the confidence we have in teams that are either off to a hot start or just taking a little while to hit their stride. And with that, I welcome in our MLB experts, Connor Del Preet and Tim Krause. And guys, let's start off with the Brew Crew. Off to a pretty hot start. Ryan Braun's been hitting well. Carlos Gomez is playing well. The pitching's been there. What confidence, on a scale of 1 to 10, do you have in the Brewers? Tim, we'll start with
Listen, they're off to a hot start, but I am not confident in this team. My confidence meter is at a 2 right now for the Brew Crew. I look at that division, and I really only see one team coming out of it, and that's the St. Louis Cardinals. In the National League, I see the wild cards coming from the West and the East. That leaves no room for the Brewers.
You know, I went with a 4. I'm a little more optimistic, only because they have played so well this year. They've been very impressive with a 15-5 record, a relatively tough schedule against teams like the Braves, the Cardinals. 2 series versus the Pirates in which they won 7 out of 8 games, sweeping them in 1 series. And again, they've played well. They're top 3 in the ERA, top 3 in slugging percentage thanks to Ryan Braun's explosive start.
Yeah, Ryan Braun's been killing
it. But the reason why it's only
really
4.
Early,
no, I'm saying I'm agreeing that it's only 4. It's only 4. I'm saying they'll still be able to compete. I mean, this is still this is a better team than last year. They just have young guys that need to keep playing at the level that they are, like Tyler Thornburg and Peralta at starting pitcher. If they continue to play well, they might be able to compete. I'm not saying they'll win the division, though. It's a 4 for me.
A team that doesn't have a lot of young guys is the New York Yankees, of course. So what is your confidence in the Yankees, who are currently first in the American League East?
Oh, God. I went with a 3. I went with a 3 because they only have 1 series win against a team with a winning record in the 10-9 Blue Jays. They started off the season losing the opener to the Astros. They lost to the Orioles in New York, including an 14-5 trouncing. Then they did split a series with the Rays. That would have been respectable if they hadn't gotten beaten 11-5 and 16-1.
Okay, Connor, yes, is looking bleak for the New York Yankees right now, but I'm not ready to give up on them. As hard as it is for me to say this,
they're first place. Give up on them. Come on, guys.
I'm giving up on them.
I have a confidence level right now of a 7 for the Yankees. Really, no one in the American League East has distinguished themselves as so far ahead of everyone else, and they're a good team. Their pitching rotation is better.
Without Nova, with the UCL tear,
without Nova, but Tanaka has been awesome.
Okay,
and Tanaka's first 3 starts, Connor, he has a 0.77 whip.
Okay, you got the one ace, and then Sabathia isn't the pitcher he used to be. Kuroda is a mixed bag at best, and now you have Vidal Nuno starting as your 5th.
What about Michael Pineda, the guy they traded Jesus Montero for?
But you need excellent pitching in the East to get a top spot, and the Yankees don't have excellent pitching.
Yeah, but no one in the AL East has really separated themselves, so they're in it. They're in the conversation.
They absolutely are in it. The Yankees are always going to be in the playoff hunt regardless, even whatever month it is. A team that hasn't been playing up to their expectation is the Washington Nationals, currently 2nd in the NL East. Got some injuries. But a lot of people are saying this could be a World Series team, and it should be a World Series team. What's your confidence they return to that World Series playing level?
I'm not confident they're going to the World Series, but my confidence level for them making the playoffs right now is a 10. They're going to be in the playoffs. This is a good team. I know they dealt with injuries this year. You're looking at Pfister. You're looking at Ryan Zimmerman. But those guys are going to get healthy. They have a good lineup.
They have an
excellent rotation. Like I said, I see 2 teams coming from the NL East in that division. They're not bad enough to lose to the Phillies, Mets.
Having a good batting order is good enough. Having a good batting order is good enough, but if you don't perform, it doesn't matter. Last year versus NL postseason teams, they were 14-31. That's a 30% winning percentage, a little over 30% winning percentage. This year so far against the Braves and Cardinals, 2 really good teams that are going to make it to the postseason, they are 3-8. The Braves have dominated them last year and this year.
Connor, you talk about how bad they were last year, but they still won 86 games, and they got better this offseason.
But if you're looking at, they had high expectations coming into this year, going to the World Series. I don't see them living up to those expectations. I gave them a 5. They've had problems in the clubhouse. Harper being benched for not running out a ground ball.
Not the first time that's happened.
You smell that, Tim?
Yeah.
I smell some tension in the clubhouse, baby. I smell some tension between him and Williams.
They'll figure it out. They're a good
There's
team.
a lot of ifs on this team, and I don't think unless they start beating good teams, I don't have confidence in them.
The thing with the Nationals is that they were really bad last year. They had a really bad year for their standards, and they still were like 2 games out of the playoffs. They were so close. Yeah, still won 86 games. Very impressive team. That lineup's stacked. Coming up next, Jake and I discuss the most inspirational man in sports. Yes, he's at it again, Jason McElwain.